I hope you're okay. Just thought I'd report that I'm fine. After the other day, after my little meltdown from science. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Brain's calmed down now. My panic's over. Um, Maths went good. Yesterday was it? Was it yesterday? No, it wasn't. It was the day before. It was Thursday, wasn't it? We're on Saturday today. Sorry, I've lost a day somewhere. Yeah, it went really good. That was it yesterday. I spent time doing some homework. Um, I'm getting the hang of it now. Um, on Thursday, we sort of like, it was division and multiplication. Now, I'd completely forgot how to do the math, where you start. I know how to set it up, when you're writing it down, but where to start on the actual sum, I had no idea. I completely forgot. But now I know. Yeah, it's all come flooding back. Um, but we are doing other things. Something, what is it called? Bid mass. And it's how you're supposed to work an equation. You get your numbers and you got your subtract and add and things like that. Then you've got your they're called all sorts. What they called? There's brackets. Oh God, integers. I think they're called. Multiplication, add, divide, and subtract. Oh, it's not in that order. I'd have to work it out properly, but yeah, it spells out big mass or something like that. Yeah. So it's working all those out, and yeah, I seem to be doing all right with that. And it's quite funny because when I think back on the science, just the equations, I'm never going to forget those equations. They are imprinted on my brain now, because it was like just a traumatic thing for me. So I know it was traumatic for me on the day, but it's imprinted on my brain now, and I won't forget that. So it's a good thing, really. Every cloud and all that has a silver lining. Um, but yeah, I think it was just my first sort of like, oh God, I don't know this moment, and all that stuff come flooding back from being back at school. All the emotions, all the fear, all the frustration, all the. But can you see it's not affecting me now? The other day I was in the bath and it was bringing up tears. All that emotion and all that feeling, but no, I've got through that now. I felt the emotions. I cried, um, and it seems to have gone, and that's good. That's healing. Apparently, this is what I've been doing. This is what's working. Because I've not been put in a setting to be able to identify that for a long, long time. And now I've identified that part of me, that traumatic experience from school. It's come up, and I felt it. I've recognised it for what it is. Understood what was going on, and it seems to have just disappeared now. I won't say it's completely gone because I'll wait till next time until I'm stuck again. See what happens. But this is what I've been doing through, well, I suppose since last year, really, is actually feeling my emotions, feeling what they are, and letting myself cry, bringing them up to the surface, and just letting them dissipate in their own time. And it don't take long, It's a grieving process, I suppose. There are many different states of grief, isn't there? All sorts. But when I was a kid, I wasn't able to express all of this, My family wasn't the sort of family that you did express this sort of thing to, Your vulnerable side, They would have used it against me. I mean, some of them would, some of them wouldn't. I know my dad wouldn't have, not at all. And other members of my family wouldn't have, they would have, had the empathy there. But then there are certain members of the family that would have used it as manipulation, But it was those people that started it all off in me in the first place, with all the abuse and everything that was going on. But back then, at that age, I didn't know what the hell was going on. But I understand it now, very much so. And it's nice to be able to actually understand it now, after being in so many years of confusion of why my head did things or didn't do things or melted, certain things, which should be just easy to get on with and do. But there is like those underlining reasons, and if you let them come to the surface, you can deal with them. You process it. You're not being told to shut up and keep quiet or too scared to talk to anybody about it in case you get battered or something like that, So being able to express it, I suppose. Yeah, that is because I can feel myself becoming emotional again. I can feel it coming up because I was never able to express it. I can feel it coming up now, I was never able to express the emotions. It's weird because I am feeling upset. I can feel myself tearing up again. But I'm laughing because I can understand the process and what's happening, I've just hit the nail on the head again. And this is what you've got to do. You've got to think about certain things, and when you talk about them and you start feeling this rush of emotions, whatever they are, sadness, anger, you've got to feel them. And you've got to let them play out themselves. Yeah, you might be sat there in tears, blubbering, snot coming out, or whatever, but let it happen, let it happen. It was an experience that happened to you, and you wasn't allowed to process it. You wasn't allowed to grieve for a situation. You wasn't allowed, you didn't have a voice or whatever, And it's, you were stifled, and you wasn't allowed, your brain wasn't allowed to do a process that it needed to do in order to store all this properly in your brain. And for me, this is where I think the mental health issues develop from, because you're not allowed to process it or get over something, or you're being told something doesn't exist in the first place, that something never happened, your brain goes into a state of confusion. It doesn't know what to do because it knows something's gone on, but it's not allowed to process it. And yeah, of course it's going to fuck it up, It's like blocking a fuel pipe, The fuel wants to go through, but there's something blocking it. It's not going to go through, so the engine's not going to work, It's not going to work properly at all. It's going to fucking, especially if it's oil, your oil pipes are blocked. It's going to cook your engine, isn't it, The oil's not getting through. It's going to seize in the end. Your engine's just going to completely fuck up. Needs that constant flow of the oil to keep the engine going, lubricated and everything in the right places, so all its mechanics work. It's the same with the brain. You stop its processes from doing what it should be doing, it's going to start deteriorating. Things aren't going to work as good or work at all, until I knew that this was going on with toxic people, what was going on with my head, I didn't know what was going on, and it really used to do my head in. Why did I do all these things? Why couldn't I do certain things? Why did I melt down in certain situations, Why did I act as I did in certain situations? And once you actually analyse it and you see the processes that's going on in your life and you link it up to how you're feeling at the time and what's going on, then you can start making good steps forward, making right decisions, because your head's in that much of a confusion. You don't know left from right, up from down, It really is. Your head's up your arse. That's what I say. Well, my head stuck right up my arse. It doesn't know what it's doing. Um, but yeah, now I understand the process. I understand why I'm getting emotional. And now next time I talk about it, I won't get as emotional. There will still be aspects of that I'll be able to pinpoint, because I'll feel it coming up as I talk about different situations and things like that. But yeah, just feeling it coming up, and allowing myself just to grieve, just to cry, just to feel that emotion, and then it goes, and it really is very strange. Sorry, the cat's here. Wow, what? What's up, sir? It really is strange, and it's a relief that I can understand the process now, and every time this happens, I know that I'm getting better. So, anyway, I thought I'd just I've gone on for what, 10 minutes now. I only wanted to make it a quick one. Anyway, I just wanted to update you on how I was, and yeah, I'm still going to college and everything like that. I did have like a fleeting panic attack that I can't do this and I can't go, but no, I pushed through that, which is very, very good for me. I've not been able to do that for a long time, really. That feeling would overtake me, and I'd just stay in the house. I wouldn't speak to anybody or anything like that. But no, I've kept going. I got a bit more homework to do today. I'm going to do a bit to science, because I did maths yesterday. A bit to my science today. And see what answers I can fill in for my homework. And it really shouldn't do my head in today, because I've got better grip over it now. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching, liking, subscribing and sharing. And I hope you're all doing really well, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.